Hi everyone, it's Andy Ng again. Today we are on part 9 of how to close every sale. In the last part where we look at the top 15 ways to close every sale, I mentioned that usually customers do not want to go ahead because they have this thing called fear. And actually there are 3 fears of customers. And today we should look at them and how you can overcome the fears one by one. The first fear is a very simple one. They are afraid of you. Yes, they are afraid of you. Because if you come across as a salesperson, customers know that you want to sell them something. And most people don't want to be sold. They want to buy. They prefer to buy. So you cannot come across as a salesperson. The solution is that you must come across as an advisor, not a salesperson. You must come across as a consultant. You must come across as a helper. You are there to help them with their problems and challenges. With that, they'll be less afraid of you. That's the number 1 fear. What's the number 2 fear? The number 2 fear is what this thing called, it's very simple, they are afraid of losing money. Customers often end up buying high or buying things that they do not want. So they're afraid of losing money. And we know that money is a very sensitive thing. Whether you are selling to an individual or selling to a corporate, if they lose money, this can be lose his job. So as a salesperson, what we shall do is that to make sure they will not lose money. That's why we always start small. We don't start big. And we take away the risk. For example, there's no way you can buy high because we have a price protection policy. If the price happens to drop within 1 month of your purchase, we refund you the difference. This is called remove the fear. We take away the risk. Of course, we can also give a money back guarantee. And sometimes we can give this thing called better than money back guarantee. In other words, not only we return your money, but we also pay you to compensate for your time that you have incurred in doing this transaction. In other words, if I do this, I'm able to overcome the number 2 fear of losing money. The third one is also quite interesting. Customers do not go ahead because they are afraid of this thing called losing. But what are they losing? This thing called losing face. Correct. People do not want to go ahead because they're afraid that if they make the wrong decision, they will look stupid and people may laugh at them. So people are afraid of losing face. When they're dealing with corporations, realize that money is not as important. Actually, more important is this thing called face. They do not mind paying more, but if their boss find out about that, they will lose face. So I want to protect their face as much as possible. So how do I protect their face? Very simple thing. Just remember one rule. I never argue with people. When customers tell me something else, I do not argue. Instead of saying, oh, that's not true, I would say, isn't that interesting? Interesting is a general word. It is neither yes or no, but it opens up the possibilities. So if I disagree a lot, I will say, oh, that's very, 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 very interesting. Because by using the word interesting, they may ask, what is it so interesting about? Then it gives me a chance to explain. And this is all I do is I never argue with people. And how do I give face to people? Very simple. In order to give face to people, make sure not only they will not lose face, but they will gain face. I always validate them. Whatever their choice. For example, they say, today I just go for the low price version. I say, wow, you have such a wise decision. And if you didn't tell me I'm not going ahead because I want to put this aside, I will say, wow, nowadays, very few people think like you. You are such a thinker. I always use the word nowadays. Whatever they do, I say, nowadays. Ladies and gentlemen, in short, there are 3 fears of customers. Fear of you, because they do not want to be sold. Second thing, they are afraid of losing money. And third thing, they are afraid of losing face. If you are able to overcome these 3 fears, then customers will definitely go ahead. So once they go ahead, what should we do, right? That's also an interesting question. In our how to close every sale next part, we should look at this thing called, what shall we do when we close the sale? What shall we do? And many a times, salespeople do not do the right thing. So when they actually close the sale, they say something wrong and that spoils the sale. With that, my name is Andy Ng. I'm from Asia Trainers. This is how to close every sale training. Thank you. Bye-bye.